Welcome, wonderful people, to Shiro's Reflections. Before we start, I'd like to ask you to please hit the subscribe button, give this episode a like, and try to share as widely as you can with your friends and the wider community at large. Now, before we begin this episode, I'd like to give you a story about the characteristics of an eagle. I'm sure most of you, if you've ever read a motivational book or listened to a motivational speech, then you know about the eagle. We know that the eagle is this kind of bird that, of course, hunts. I think it's a top predator in that it hunts other animals. And when the going gets tough or when there's a storm, the eagle flies and keeps on rising higher and higher and higher until it actually goes above the storm. And it gets up there where I think the air is really nice and it glides and it has a lot of fun and etc. And that is actually amazing. We can learn a lot. Sometimes you need to escape the mundane. We need to rise above the everyday things that are happening. You know, the chores that come naturally to us as Shiros, motherhood, sisterhood, daughterhood, and all that. And sometimes you need that little escape and we actually soar above the storm and we enjoy ourselves there. But this is the point that I want us to note about the eagle. Having done all that, it actually has to come down to the world, to earth, so that it can actually be able to hunt, it can be able to feed, it can be able to mate, and it can be able to do all those other things that makes it possible for the eagle to live its life. And now I want to park that there, somewhere in a corner, so that now I can get into the crux of today's episode. I'm doing this episode really as a sequel to a previous episode that I'd done on Shiro's Reflections. You can find the link in the description box below. And if you have not watched that video, I'd actually ask you to go over there, watch the video, and then come back and let's continue. And in this particular video, the previous video, we're talking about how we find ourselves in situations, in relationships, but we always want to see what is out there, you know? We are always trying to see what is out there. And a friend of mine told me what is out there is actually amazing thrills. And I thought about it. Sometimes life does get mundane. Sometimes you actually need to enjoy yourself, excite yourself a little bit, you know? And you need to be like that eagle and go up, 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 up. I don't know what your high is, eh? And whatever your high is, sometimes you want to indulge in it once in a while. And I was thinking and wondering, what exciting things are out there? But wala la 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 la. They're even massage parlors, I'm telling you. And a new word I got to learn of Milayas and all those things, thanks to Samuel again. And actually, I think it's called Samuel or massage. So there are all these things that are actually going to make you feel pretty good about yourself. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in another episode. But what I want us to talk about today is actually that story of that eagle. Remember, as you step out to go and have all these thrills, remember at heart you're still a Shiro. You're still a girl. You're still a lady. You're still a woman. You're still a person that other people look up to. There is that girl. There is that colleague. There is your daughter. There are all these people who are actually looking up to you. And as having these particular thrills, remember, you have to come back down to earth. Remember that amazing thrill, that absolute thrill. Keep in mind that it is just exactly that, a thrill. And when I said I don't know what your high is, I don't know what your thrill is, that's actually true. Because if you do a little bit of science, research a little bit, then you get to know that our brains are actually excited in different ways. We have all these hormones that are circulating in our body. And for all these hormones, they affect the brain in a different way. I don't know all of them, but I know we have serotonin, I know we have GABA, I know we have dopamine, I know we have all these other things. And when you're chasing those thrills, those are the hormones that you're actually circulating in our system. And that's why you find that somebody's thrill will not be the other person's thrill. I know for a fact that if you like alcohol, for instance, yours is really GABA, eh? That's the feel-good hormone that works very well with that kind of thing. If your thrill is massage, I don't know what that hormone is. If your thrill is mihadarati, I don't know what that thrill is. But what I want to tell you is if you're going to be doing all these thrills, remember at the end of the day, you still need to be able to function in your life. You still need to be moving your life forward. You still need to keep being that role model that you are to that particular person who is looking up to you. So let us not get so carried away by all these things. And if you are a mother, remember, you're going to come back to being a mother. When you have finished with the massage parlor, when you have finished with whoever that is who is making you very excited, you still have to come back. Just like that eagle has to come back to hunt on earth, you still have to come back and live on this earth. Live in your community. So let us carry ourselves with dignity. Let us not spoil our names. Let us not let down the people who are actually around us and the people who actually look up to us. If you're somebody's wife, remember, after you have taken that lady's trip out of town, and whatever you do remains there. You know that saying, eh? Whatever happens in Vegas remains there. So whatever you do in your girl's trip remains there. But remember, as you're chasing these thrills, as you're doing these things that make us happy, or as you like to say, as you're doing these things that make us feel as women, feel as if we are alive, feel as if we are human beings, please let's keep in mind that we still have to come back and live in our community. We still have to come back and live in our families. Remember, you are somebody's daughter. You still have to come back and be that person's daughter. Remember, you are somebody's mother. Well, mother not necessarily, but daughter, at least everybody is somebody's daughter. So remember that as you're coming back, you will still be somebody's daughter. Remember, if you're somebody's mother, you will still come back and be somebody's mother. If you're somebody's wife, you'll still come back and be somebody's wife. So as we take those things that make us happy, maybe as you go for that girl's out trip, and as we say, whatever happens in Vegas remains in Vegas. Still remember that Vegas will remain there. Your activities will remain there, but you will be coming back. How are you going to come back? Come back, fit in your community, and let's keep our thrills as much as they are good, as much as they add life to our ears, as much as they make us happy. Let us never forget that after all is said and done, we still have to come back to our community, just like the eagle has to come back to earth so that it can be able to hunt, it can be able to do all those things that an eagle needs to do so that it can be able to live an eagle's life. Let's keep living. Let's keep being sheroes. Bye.